ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ.
ಬೇಡ ಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಮಿನಿಮೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡೋಣ. ಲಿಂಕಿಂದ ಓಪನ್ ಆದರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಲಿಂಕಿಂದ
ಇದು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ PPTಲಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ KVR ಅಂತ ಇದು ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಟಕ್ ಅಂತ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ತಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಇದು PDF ಓಪನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ.
ಅದೇ ಕಾಪಿ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್.
ಅಥವಾ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಬೇರೆ
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಓಪನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ.
ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ.
ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್
ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಪ್ಪ. ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಚಂದ್ರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಾ?
ಚಂದ್ರು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸಿ ಬೇಗ.
ಚಂದ್ರು ವಿಡಿಯೋ
ಮರ್ಜು ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಮರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸಿ ಬೇಗ.
ನೋಡಿ ಚಂದ್ರು, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಕಣ್ ತುಂಬಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 27 ಜನ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸುಷ್ಮಾ, ಪ್ರವೀಣ್ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆ, ಹರ್ಷಿತಾ, ದಿನಕರ್, ದೀಪಕ್, ಪ್ರವೀಣ್ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆ, ರಶ್ಮಿ, ಸುಷ್ಮಾ, ಭೂದೇವಿ, ಸಚಿನ್, ಸುಜಿತ್, ಜಯಂತ್, ಮೇಘನಾ ಭರದ್ವಾಜ್, ಗುಡ್, ಶ್ರೀಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ MS, ಸಚಿನ್, ವಂದನಾ, ಜಯಂತ್ L, ವಂದನಾ H, ಸುಹಾಸ್, ರಮ್ಯಾ, ಲಾವಣ್ಯ, ಶುಭಾ M, ಜೋಶಿ ಅಜಿತ್, ಅಕ್ಷಯ್ ಗಣಪತಿ ಹೆಗಡೆ, ರಮ್ಯಶ್ರೀ ಹೆಗಡೆ, ಶಶಾಂಕ್ KV, and ಪವನ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಬರ್ದಿರೋ ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಾಲ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಗುಡ್, ರೈಟ್? Yeah. So you have seen yesterday assignment you have completed. Very good. I really appreciate all the students who have put efforts. It's a learning and learning experience and showcasing experience. So this is a common platform where others can see your assignment, how neatly you have done. Some student, I think Joshi Ajit, he has executed in interactive mode, Q-edit mode. Oh, super. Okay. Stored programs. Good. So I really appreciate your spirit. Today's class will start. Okay. Right. In today's class, we'll be talking about 3 things. One is Python identifiers, reserved words, and variables and memory allocation in Python. So memory allocation of variables in Python is totally a different one. It's totally a different one. So you should understand this. It's a totally unique one, which you don't get in any of the programming languages. Right. Okay, coming on to Python identifiers. I think Meghana Badiara. Meghana, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Good. So Shashank, your assignment you have seen submitted. Good. Shashank, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good, Shashank. Ellaru bandiyare. I think most of the students. I think every day when you are coming attending my class, I need everybody to sit with a book and pen. Okay. So whenever I say something, you have to note down and you have to work it out also. So it is just like our regular class. So Python identifiers. The first point you can note down. What is exactly Python identifier? A Python identifier is a name. It's a name. Just like how a student is given a name, like that for any variable or for any what function for any class or for any module, for any object, we give a name. So that name is called a Python identifier. Hope you are all noting down, right? Please write down. Python identifier is a name to identify variable, function, class, module, and other objects. So all these, we have to give a name. That name we call it as Python identifier. So underline, important point is Python identifier, first point. Next. Programs frequently name variables so that they can be used later. So what is the use of Python identifiers? If you want to store some data, in computer memory, that computer memory is referenced by or referred by a name. That name, you call it as identifier. So identifying component is identifier. So anything that is there in the memory, if you want to identify by a name, that name you call it as identifier. So it's a program identifiers. Identifiers, we use it in the program to identify some memory locations. That is the second point. And these names, we call it as variables because they do change values. The same way we call it as constant also. If the value doesn't change, then that is called a constant. If it changes, then it is a variable. Okay, this concept I think you know very well. What are the names? What are the variable names that can be used? Okay, in a Python variable, we can use letters, we can use digits, and we can use underscore. Only three things are allowed in identifying the identifiers. Okay, in order to name the identifiers. Okay, what are those? Letters, digits, and underscore. So here is example. Look at here, X spices 5618 degree underscore Celsius are allowed, but 777 is not allowed. You know, it's not allowed because only digits is not allowed. Only underscore is not allowed. Underscore plus letters. Underscore letters plus digits is allowed. Okay. So space is not allowed. And in place of space, we have underscore. Okay. Let us see some of the naming conventions. Naming conventions in the sense, the rules that you need to follow for identifying the variables or for writing the names of this identifiers. So naming rules for Python identifiers. First rule says, in C or in Java, in order to give name for a variable, you have a length restriction. Can somebody tell what is the length restriction? How long variable should be in C or in Java? Anybody? Yes, somebody you can answer. What is the number of characters that you can have for a C variable or a C, constant? Anybody for that matter? If you know, at least you can type it in the chat box if you know, if you're unable to answer. Okay, in C or in Java, maximum is 80 characters. Yes, maximum is 80 characters. Beyond 80 characters, it is not possible. But in Python, identifier name, a variable name can be arbitrary long. Any number of characters you can have. You can give very big name for a small variable. Yes, you can give. There is no restriction. There is no restriction. There is no restriction at all. And remember another second point. I think hope you're all noting down, right? Writing down. The first one, there is no limit. That is, it can be of any arbitrary, length. So it can have any length. Second point. So identifier has to start with capital A to Z, that is letters, or small a to Z. There is no hard and fast rule that it should start with capital letters or it should start with small letters. No, there is no. Or you can also start with underscore. So three things you can certainly use to start the names. Either you can use capital letters, that is uppercase letters, or lowercase letters, or underscore. Anything other than these three you cannot use as a first character. First character should be always underscore or capital letter or small letter. Okay. After that, you can either give digits or you can give any letter or any symbol. Okay. Symbol is nothing but underscore. That's all. So that is one very important thing. Only three things are allowed: digits, character, that is alphabets, and underscore. And first character should be underscore, or it has to be letter. Okay, A to Z. Apart from that, you cannot write anything. The next point is no other punctuation characters are allowed, like at symbol, dollar symbol, percentage symbol. No chance. It is not allowed. Only underscore is allowed. Other than this, no symbol is allowed in the identifier name. Next, uppercase characters and lowercase characters are having distinct meaning. So like manpower, for example, look at here. I will write like manpower. Manpower and small manpower. Their wordings, spellings are same, but you look at the character M. You look at the character M. M is capital here, M is small here. So that means they are two different variables. This is a different variable. This is a different variable. So when those two are different variables, obviously they have different memory locations allocated. Okay, fantastic. Next. Apart from this, you cannot use reserve words or keywords that is built in Python interpreter. So how many reserve words are there? There are 33 reserve words. In C, 32. In Python, 33, easy to remember. 33 reserve words are there. These reserve words cannot be used as identifiers. So that is the rules. So rule number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely a question asked in the examination or internal test, 5 points, 5 marks. Easy. And you can write some examples, 1 or 2 examples to make your answer more effective. Okay. And coming on to reserve words, following are the reserve words. 33 reserve words I have already said. What are these reserve words? And is a reserve word, assert is a reserve word, break is a reserve word, class is a reserve word, continue is a reserve word, def, del, else if, else, except. So this is a list. It's a list of 33 words. They have predefined meaning. Reserve words are having predefined meaning, and that cannot be used as ordinary identifiers. Okay, so that is only component that you should remember. Now, very, very important, variable and its memory allocation. How exactly memory is allocated? Remember one very important thing. So here you are creating a variable. Let us go into the practical demonstration. I'll switch on to idle. Okay, I think this is screen, idle screen. Yesterday I told how to get into idle screen. Just click here, install Python, type IDLE, idle, and Python idle will come. If you just click, automatically you will get this idle screen. Idle screen contain, what is this? What is this I'm talking about?
Shell.
Good. This is, and the highlighted one is called? Highlighted one is a prompt. Okay. Yes, Sujit. It's a prompt. And on the top, it will show what is the version. Yesterday, I have given assignment. Okay. to work with Python. Did you observe what was the latest version of Python?
3.8.5.
3.8.4.
Yes, exactly. You're right. Absolutely. That's how you should be observing. Okay. While working with many of the things, you should be observing. Okay. It's exactly. So I'm using a 2016 version. I think 4 years back version. Okay. If I install, I think if I uninstall and install, I think I'll get the latest version. No problem. But most of the things will work. Okay. Now, remember one very important thing. If I create a variable a is equal to 10, observe now very carefully in C and Java, when you are creating a variable or whenever you are creating a assignment operator like this, what is very important in C and Java? What you have to mention before the variable name?
Data.
Yes, Shashank, correct. Data type is important. Data type you have to mention. But here in Python, data type is not at all there. In fact, you need not have to give the data types. It will take the data type based on the value that you store. Now, what type of data you are storing in A? If you type the command, type A. I think, hope you are all noting down, right? Please write down. Type is a function that will tell what type of data that is stored in the variable. So now 10 is a what? 10 is an integer. So it is showing. So integer, because A is now turned into integer. Now I say A is equal to, okay. Hope you all know Rajni madam. Okay, I'll give Rajni ma'am. Okay, I just type A is equal to Rajni. Now, somebody predict what is the type of A? What type of A it is? What is the value I am going to get in A? Or what is the data type that is there? What type of variable A is? Yeah.
Character.
String.
Character, sir.
A character data is not there. It's a string data. In Python, single character is also treated as a string. Okay, string data. It's a string. So you have seen data type, that is int. You have seen the data type string. So int string. Suppose if I store A is equal to, see the same name I am using. A only I am using. I'm not changing. See, I'm using the same name based on the value that I store. Based on the value I store, what happens? It will change the data type. It will change the data type. So now, what type of data I'm storing? I'm storing float data type. Look at here. If I check type command, type of A, it's a floating data type. It's a floating data type. It's, see, basically in Python, you have only two data types, numeric and character. Character data type is string. String data type and numeric data. Numeric, you have only two. That is integer and float. And there is one more data type. You call it as, Boolean values. In C and Java, 0 represents false and 1 represents true, right? In Python, there is a word called true. There is a word called true, and this true is a value. Now, type of A means it will tell A is of data type Boolean data type. A is of type Boolean data type. Look at that. It is a Boolean data type. A is a Boolean data type. So now we have understood. In Python, we have basically three data types: numeric data types, string data type and Boolean data type. Boolean data type, either it will hold true or false. If you are writing value true, then T should be capital here. There is no inverted code, no single code, no double code, just true with the T capital. Similarly, I can also write A is equal to false. I can certainly write true or false. If you type of A, if you do it, it will show it as a Boolean data type. Look at that. That is very important. That's very important. You should understand. And remember, it is only one variable so far created. That variable is getting changed to various data type. Initially it was integer, later it was changing to string, later it is changing to float, later it is changing to bool, later, it is just like that. You also have another data type, we call it as none. None. Actually, N capital, I believe. A is equal to none. None is nothing but your void data type. In C and Java, you are having void data type, right? Same way, type of A. Yes, none type. It's a void data type. None is also a data type. So, basic data types in Python are numeric, string, Boolean, and none data types. So based on this basic primitive data types, all other data types are built. All other, derived data types are built. We'll discuss that. Okay, we'll discuss that later. We'll discuss that later. Okay, you understood now, right? Is it clear? I think, hope you are all writing down all these examples. I want, you people to try this. Okay, you have to demonstrate all the data types, and you have to write the assignment today. Today's assignment, what you are supposed to submit is, you have to create all the data types that are available in Python. One example, take the screenshot like this and submit it in the assignment portal. That is today's assignment. Okay, another very important thing that you should understand, I just clear the screen. Okay, there is no clear screen, so I will open another idle. Okay, I'll open another idle. Very, very important. Now, very, very important. Everybody, you should be very attentive. Okay, now look at here. I create a variable A is equal to 10. A is equal to 10. If it is allocated, memory is allocated, if the value is stored, definitely you can see the memory address of that particular variable. In C, okay, if you want to display the memory address of a variable, what do? How do you come to know the address of a variable in C? Somebody you can answer? In C, if you create a variable, how do you come to know the address of a variable in C? Nobody knows. C nalli on the variable create madadre, a variable address na hengappa kandiditya? How do you know the address of a variable in C? Gotilva? You have to use printf %x, ampersand a. Madilva? Ampersand a, ampersand and hakadre yenappa barate C nalli. You get address, right? It will go to display the address of the variable A in C. But in Python, it is not like that. Okay. There is a function called ID. There is a function called ID. ID of A, if you just say ID of A, what happens? It will display the address of that particular variable, ID of A. ID of A. See, it is displaying. You have seen today two functions. Two functions. What is the first function? What was the first function? Type function. Type. Good, Nero. Second function is ID. What do this ID function do? ID function will identify the memory address of that particular variable. Okay. Let me create another variable. Let me create another variable called B. B is equal to, I just give, 25. Okay. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 25. ID of B, observe now, it's different. It's different. It's different. ID of A, it is something 864. Next ID of B is 1104. Now, very, very important. Observe now, very important. Okay. Now I say B is equal to 10. B is equal to 10. Observe now very carefully. What will be the ID of B now? What will be the ID of B? Somebody, you can answer. What is the address of B? Yes, Akshay? Good luck.
A value are
A address.
864 last.
Yes, exactly. Look at that. When there was a value, it got different memory allocation. And the value was 10. That means 10 is already storing in A. It will never spend another, memory space to store the same value. It will never spend. Python is so intelligent. It will never spend for same value two different memories. No, not a chance. No chance. What it will do? B is also 10, A is also 10. Let me allocate the same memory space for B also. That is what Python is thinking. Look at there, A is also 10, B is also 10. So that means their memory allocation is same. That's so simple. That's how Python is so memory efficient. I told yesterday, Python is memory efficient. Okay. When I was explaining yesterday the features of Python, I made one statement. Python is a memory efficient programming language. This is how. If the value is same, it will allocate same memory space. Is it true for strings? Let us try. Okay. I store name 1 is equal to Niru. Name 2 is equal to, again, I give the same value, Niru. Sorry. Name 2 is equal to Niru. Yes. Now I have two variables. ID of name 1. Look at there. It is 1792. ID of name 2. Same 1792. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. If the same value you have for that variable, what happens? Same memory is allocated. It will never allocate different memory. Suppose if I change name 2 is equal to, instead of Niru, I change it to Chandru. I change it to Chandru. Now name 2 got changed. Its value, definitely a new memory allocation is given for name 2. Now ID of name 2, you observe. Name 2, you observe. Oh, it's 456. What I wonder, if it is having same value, same memory. If the value is different, different memory. Oh, Python is so optimal. Suppose if I change again name 2 as same Niru, again what it will do? ID of name to, yeah, it is 71792. Yes. That means if it is same value, same memory address. If there is any change in the value, then only it will allocate different memory. That's how Python is so efficient. Python is so efficient in allocating the memory. It is not only for string variables, even for the integers also, integer values also. See how memory efficient Python program is all about. Okay, I want today's assignment. Today's assignment is I want to demonstrate all data types in Python. It is first demonstration, and second demonstration demonstrate the memory allocation of variables in Python. These two I want you to execute and put it in the assignment browser. So assignment link you have to submit. Okay, put it in the assignment link. So that's all for today's class. That's all for today's class. I think Chandru, have you noted down the attendance of today? Chandru, note ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ attendance? He is typing. Yes, Chandru, thank you. Yeah, I think there are 49 students, okay, attending today. It's a very good strength. Okay, so keep it up, and this is your yeah, this is your strength, class strength. The next slide is for you. So thank you. Okay, that's all for today's class. Have a wonderful day. So keep learning, keep attending all the classes. Okay, thank you very much for attending your online class. Thank you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'm open for doubts. Yesterday also some students after the class, you asked doubts, you can ask me. Okay, I'm open to doubts, open to questions, you can ask if anybody has, or else I'm done with. Thank you very much. You can sign off. If anybody has question, you can ask. Yeah, thank you. Jayant, you have any doubt, Jayant? Still you are there? Raghavendra? ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೊಟ್ಟೋಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ? ನಾನು ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಹೊಟ್ಟಾಗ್ತೀರಲ್ಪ. ಅಶುತೋಷ್, ಅಶುತೋಷ್ ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ಯಪ್ಪ? Yesterday you were not there, Ashutosh. You went. ಜಯಂತ್, ಇವತ್ತು ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಯಾಡ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ನಿನ್ನೆ Bhumika mother, she passed away. Gottaita? Yesterday? Very sad thing. Okay pa, if you have any. Shushma, are you there still? On ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಟುಡೋಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಪ್ರಿಯದರ್ಶಿನಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಟುಡೋಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಏ ದರ್ಶನ್, ಎಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ನೆನ್ನೆ ಬಂದಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ? ದರ್ಶನ್, ಆರ್ ಯು ದೇರ್? ಜಯಂತ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ. ಪ್ರಿಯದರ್ಶಿನಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಟೊಟ್ಟಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಬರ್ಲಿ, ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಅಶುತೋಷ್ ಹೇಗಿದ್ಯಪ್ಪ? Yesterday you were not there, Ashutosh.
Sir, I was doing the same.
Good.
No, sir, yesterday I was not there. Yesterday I didn't connect, sir.
That's why I want to say hello to you. Good. Are you safe at your native? Are you safe at your native?
Yes, sir. I'm safe, sir. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing well. We are actually.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. You are from Bijapur, right? Bidara, Bijapura. Ashutosh. You are from Bijapur, right?
No, sir. Kalburgi.
Kalburgi, yes. I know you are from North Karnataka.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Darshan.
Yes, sir.
Darshan. How are you, Darshan? Arpita LS. ಇವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹಾಕಪ್ಪ ಜಯಂತ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಸರ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ನೀವೇನು ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡೇ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ.
Sir, can we merge the comments into
Can you come again? Can you merge?
Can I merge the pics into the PDF and upload it on that website?
Yeah. I'll be preparing a different website. Okay, the CN website, it is only for CN. I have created another website. I'll be posting in the group today. Okay, it is already there.
Okay, sir.
All the class details, all the class recordings, it will be available. You can click. Okay. Along with PDF of the happenings. Okay, pa. So,
Thanks.
nice talking to you all. Have a wonderful day. Signing off. Okay. Please message Arpita, Ashok, Arpita and Darshan. They are still they are left. Anma ittutagiddare. Darshan ಮತ್ತೆ ದರ್ಶನ್ ಅರ್ಪಿತಾ ಹಂಗೆ ಇಟ್ಟುಟಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾಳೆ ಬರ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೆ ಬೆಂಡೆತ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆಪ್ಪ, ಸಿಗೋಣ. ಸಿ ಯು. ಬಾಯ್.